Welcome back to the video, and in today's video, we are predicting every single NFL team's record heading into the 2023-2024 season. We did this before last year. We're going to do it again, predicting every single team's record. These are the tiers: 13 plus wins, 11 to 12 wins, 8 to 10 wins, 5 to 7 wins, and 4 or below wins. I am sorry for not posting recently. I've been super busy with track and field and school. I will keep being on the grind. Don't worry, this channel is not becoming extinct. I've just been super busy. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Before we get into the video, please sure if you are new and you like the content, please sure to subscribe to the channel if you are not yet subscribed. Content's been amazing, growth's been amazing. Let's keep it up. Let's get to that 600 mark. And let's get straight into the video of predicting every single NFL team's record. So the first team we are going to be doing is the Arizona Cardinals. 4 wins. I have them being one of the worst teams this year. Kyler Murray's unhappy. DeAndre Hopkins is going to probably want to leave. Budda Baker's requested a trade. AJ Green, JJ Watt's retired. I mean, there's just a lot of question marks with this team. They didn't do that good in the draft. I don't see them being that good this year. I actually see them as being one of the worst teams in the league. Next will be the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm going to say 7 wins. I have some confidence in them. I do. But I cannot put them in that 8 to 10, possible playoff team threshold with how bad that division is either. Even though that their division's terrible, I don't see them at that point. I'm gonna put them at 7 wins, because I do think they have a lot of potential. I like their draft. I think Bijan Robinson was a risky pick, but I think it might work out. I like the idea. I'm putting them at 7 wins. Next will be the Ravens. I'm gonna put the Ravens at 8 wins. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of confidence in the Baltimore Ravens this year. I see them as one of the worst in their division now. I don't see them as the top in their division anymore. I mean, yes, you paid Lamar a lot of money, and yes, you got Odell Beckham Jr., but a lot of question marks with that team, involving just wide receivers, the offense as well, with functioning with Lamar, and the defense. A lot of question marks. And last year, you could see at the end of the year they really started struggling. So we're gonna see how we do, but I'm gonna say 8 wins. Next will be the Bills. I'm gonna say 12 wins. They'll still be the best in their division, in my opinion. I think they will be the top in that AFC East division. What I will say is I think a lot of their teams around them are gaining, and they're just kind of being staying put. So they might get overtaken this year by the Dolphins or the Jets, but I still believe that the Bills will be able to win the division with 12 wins. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers. They got a new head coach. They got Bryce Young. I'm going to give the Carolina Panthers 6 wins. I know it's not that much, but you gotta understand, getting Bryce Young into a rhythm to be able to play, it's like Trevor Lawrence. Did not have the greatest freshman year, and now the Jaguars are doing amazing, and they're looking a lot better. And this is gonna be a similar case with Bryce Young, where I think the Panthers are gonna try him out this year, but I don't think it's gonna work quite yet. It might need to take a year for things to get going, so that's why I'm gonna say 6 wins. Next, it'll be the Chicago Bears. I know they did a lot this offseason. I get that. But the max I can do is 7 wins. I can't do any more than 7 wins. I'm going to order these, by the way, based on wins. But the max I can do is 7 wins. Yes, Justin Fields' players are 30 now. He's got DJ Moore. They made some amazing trades. They have some amazing players now. They really went out and had a really good offseason. But I don't see the worst team last year really going up that much. I am going to give them 7 because I think they are really going to improve. I can't put them any higher than 7 wins, though. Next to be the Cincinnati Bengals. I have them winning 13 games. I have nothing to say about the Bengals except absolute amazing. Is just that good of a team. Their offense is incredible, and yes, they did lose stuff on their defense, but we know how good of a team they are, and you gotta still give them 13 wins because that offense is incredible. And although they did lose Jesse Bates, I still believe in them. I'm putting them at 13 wins. Next to be the Cleveland Browns. Some people are rating the Cleveland Browns super, super highly. Like, they're going to be absolutely incredible. I don't see them being. I see them being better than the Ravens. I have them winning 9 games. I think they can be better than the Ravens, but I don't see them as a playoff team. I'm sorry. Yes, they have all the weapons, but you also have to realize they have Deshaun Watson as their quarterback. And unless Deshaun Watson can turn to the 2018 Texas Deshaun Watson that we saw a few years ago, I don't see the Browns being any more than a 9-win team. Now, what I will say is they do have a lot of potential, but they have not unlocked that yet. So I could see them getting like 11 wins. I don't see that this year, though, in my opinion. Next we have the Cowboys, another team where they're like, oh my God, the Cowboys are gonna be better than the Eagles. I still don't see the Cowboys being better than the Eagles. I have them winning 12 games, tied with the Bills. I don't see them winning 13 or more games, in my opinion. I think the Eagles are still the top in that division, and they deserve to be the top in that division. And while I do think that the Cowboys are actually really improved this offseason with getting Brandon Cooks, and they also got one more player. I'm trying to forget the name. I don't know, but they also got Michael Parsons. Had a solid draft. They're definitely going to be a favorite. I don't see them being the top in the NFC East division. Next to be the Denver Broncos, and I'm putting them at. I'm gonna say yes. They lost rid of Nathaniel Hackett. Now they have Sean Payton. I'm gonna put them at 11 wins. I'm gonna be honest. I think they can have an 11. Actually, I'm gonna go 10. 10 because I think they could be in the playoffs, but I don't think that they can be in that 11 win threshold. I actually think that the Broncos are going to be a really good year because last year I know they struggled. I know Russell Wilson didn't look that good, but I think it was more the coaching than the actual quarterback's fault. So, in my opinion, you put everything together. I think Russell Wilson can really help this team out. I think Sean Payton as a head coach will really help this team out. They can get 10 games. Next up, the Detroit Lions. I told you I'm re-ranking every single division. I have the Lions winning. I have the Lions winning the NFC North. I'm sticking to it. Lions win 11 games, and I honestly believe it. Lions have so many good pieces. They just have to bring it all together. Yes, their draft hurt them a little bit because they didn't have the greatest NFL draft this year. I still think the talent there is incredible. They're young, they're talented. I see them winning that division. Next up is the Green Bay Packers. Um, Probably like 5 wins. I can't put them at 4 or below because it's the Packers. They won't lose 4 games, but 5 wins is all I can go. I'm sorry. You lost to Aaron Rodgers. Now you have Jordan Love starting. Maybe Jordan Love can prove me wrong, but from what we've seen from the tape, I'm putting them at 5 wins. Next to the Texans, again another person with a really really good draft. Division isn't that great apart from the Jaguars. I'm gonna put the Texans actually at a similar pace with the Bears at 7 wins. I believe in the Texans, man. They got a lot of good pieces. Then they have C.J. Stroud. They got who else did they get? They got I think Dalton Schultz, Devin Singletary. Like they got a lot of serviceable players from other teams. And I honestly think the Texans are going to be a really underrated team this year. Now, would I say that they're going to be a top team? Absolutely not. That's why I put them in the 5 to 7 category. But I do think the Texans are actually going to really improve this year, and I think C.J. Stroud is going to actually be pretty decent this year. Next up, we have the Colts. Now, this is another tough one in my opinion. Colts, I don't see them winning that many games. I'm sorry. Even with Anthony Richardson, I have them winning 4 games. I think it's going to take a year for Anthony Richardson to really develop, and I don't see Richardson being able to help him out too much. I think that the Colts being 4, I think is a good spot. I think Cardinals and Colts are going to be battling now for the worst in the league, and we'll see who wins it. But I don't see the Colts being that well. Yes, they have the talent, but coach is a big question mark. Injuries are a big question mark. We don't know how good Anthony Richardson's actually going to be. Next, we have Trevor Lawrence. This is my own, not a hot take. This is what I think, though. I legitimately think they're going to have 13 wins. I think that they're going to be tied for the second best team in the AFC based on record because I think that the options are all there, the talent's all there. You got Calvin Ridley coming off the suspension. He's going to do really, really good. You got Trevor Lawrence, you got Christian Kirk, you got Zay Jones. That defense with Josh Allen's incredible. I'm putting them at 13 wins. I have them beating the Bills. I'm not going to lie to you. I have them beating the Bills. But, of course, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. I have the Kansas City Chiefs at 14 wins. They're just going to be the best team in the AFC. When you have Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Travis Kelce, it's enough said. You cannot defy the Super Bowl champions. You can't put them any lower than 14. So you got to put them at 14. They're incredible. With those 3 players, that's all you need. And a coach, an insane coach. Next will be the Chargers. I'm actually going to... the Chargers are a tough one because they've always super underperformed. But I think that they're going to have a better season than the Broncos at 10. So I'm going to put the Chargers at 11 wins. I think the Chargers are just a better team than the Broncos. And when I look at the thing, I don't see the Broncos being ahead of the Chargers in the AFC West division. I think they both could be playoff teams. I don't know the order exactly, but I think the Chargers are going to be better. They have a lot of talent. They really, really do. And as long as Austin Eckler doesn't leave, you got Eckler, Williams, Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert. The offense is incredible. The defense has a lot of stars. Can be put together. It's a question mark. But I have a lot of confidence in the Chargers. Next, we have the Rams. I'm going to say 6 wins because you still have Matthew Stafford, you still have Cooper Kupp, you still have Aaron Donald, but it's not that good of a team. If they can all stay healthy, they have the potential to be like an 8 to 10 win team. But from what we've seen from last year, I'm only putting them at 6, and that's the highest I can go. Next we have the Raiders. I'll say 8, and that might be generous, but I'm gonna say 8 because I know that they lost Derek Carr, but they still have a lot of stuff, and Jimmy Garoppolo is not a bad quarterback. Still Devontae, still have Josh Jacobs. Yes, you lost Darren Waller, but the team is still decent. But they're definitely going to be the worst in their division. They took a step back. All the other teams took a step forward. So they're going to be the worst in their division. But I don't think that their team's going to be as bad as some people are thinking. Next will be the Dolphins. I have them Dolphins winning 11 games. Right behind the Bills, they're going to be neck and neck, but I think the Bills are just going to slightly edge out the Dolphins. I have confidence in the Dolphins. I think they're a very good team. They had a really good draft. They have Jalen Ramsey now. But I'm not going to put them ahead of the Bills until we actually see it. Next will be the Vikings. Hot take here. I only have them winning 10 games. And that might be even generous, but I'm having them win 10 games, and that's max, in my opinion. Maybe even 9 games. Honestly, maybe 9 games. But the Vikings just don't look as good. They lost Adam Thielen. They have a lot of injury concerns. Dalvin Cook was considered leaving, possibly. Kirk Cousins is getting older. And their defense lost a lot of pieces. Eric Kendricks and, who's that? Cameron Dantzler. So, I'm not going to lie, the Vikings are really, really slowing down. And while I do think that they're still a good team, I have the Lions winning that division. I think the Vikings are going to have a big drop up from last year. Next up, we have the Patriots. Um, it's tough because you do have Bill Belichick, but they're going to be the worst in their division for sure. I'm going to put them at 7 wins because they do have Bill Belichick. You got to realize that they do actually have Bill Belichick. But even with Bill Belichick, even with that offense, the offense is terrible. The defense is terrible. I mean, the defense is actually decent, but with that offense on paper, it looks terrible. So, and with injuries, with veteran leadership, I don't see the Patriots being anywhere above 7 wins. Next would be the Saints. I have the Saints winning 11 games. And the only reason why is because the Saints aren't even that insane of a team, in my opinion. But their division absolutely stinks. So you got to give them credit. They're definitely going to be in that race for the division. I have them winning the division, obviously. That's what I said. But yeah, I think that they're going to win 11 games because they're the best team in that division, in my opinion, on paper. And that division sucks. They'll get a lot of wins from those division games. And I have them winning 11 games. Next will be the Giants. I'm going to say the Giants are going to win 9 games. Giants are going to be an iffy if they make the playoffs. Actually, I'll say 10. I think that they can win 10 with the Vikings and the Broncos. I think they deserve 10. It's gonna be kind of sort of last year, which me iffy if they make the playoffs or not. Just they have 2 other teams in that division, which I think are just better than them. But they're actually a really good team. If they were in the NFC South, they might have freaking 13 wins. But they're in a tough division, so I'm only gonna give them 10. Next to be the Jets. They did just acquire Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not gonna jump the gun on the Jets too much. 10 wins. And that, again, I'm not jumping the gun on the Jets. I don't have them being above the Dolphins or the Bills. They're a step down from them. I know they have Aaron Rodgers, but you look at the offense on paper, it's not insane. Like, wide receivers aren't insane. Defense is decent. But I don't see them looking at their team as a Super Bowl contender, which a lot of people are putting them at them on. Next will be the Eagles. I have them winning 14 games. Actually, 13. I have them winning 13 games with these 3 teams because I don't think that they're on the same level as the Chiefs based on wins. They did have a really good draft, and I think they're going to be basically the same as last year, except that I think they're going to lose 1 less because last year was just kind of insane. I don't see them repeating just as much, but I see the Eagles being the top of that division for sure. Next will be the Steelers. I'm putting the Steelers at 9 wins, tied with the Browns for second in that division. Both teams are good, Browns and the Steelers. Steelers, you got to give them credit because they have Mike Tomlin coaching them now. Last year they did decent, and they've always been around that 500 mark, and I see them continuing that. As Kenny Pickett, very, very growing up into a better quarterback. Next will be the Seahawks. This is tough for me because Seahawks, they had a really good draft. They actually look really, really good now, but they're not winning their division because the Niners are winning the division. I'm putting the Seahawks at 10 wins. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they got last year. That's my one they got last year, but the Seahawks are incredible. It's just they have a really tough competitor that I think is going to win the division, and that's coming up next with the San Francisco 49ers. Now, with the Seahawks, really good draft. Got Jackson Smith and Jigba. The talent of the wide receivers in the offense together is incredible. They need to work on their defense, though, and that's why I'm not going to put them too high. Niners, I'm going to see who exactly wins between the Niners and the Eagles to see who gets that division one spot, like who's first in their division. It's one of the two teams. We'll see who it is, but they're both incredible. Niners are incredible. Best defense in the NFL. Offense is capable. As long as Brock Purdy can come back and be healthy, I have no problem with having them win 13 games. Next, we have the Bucks. I'm saying 4. And honestly, we're just going to go on a little streak right now. Bucks 4, Titans 4, and then Washington 5. And now I'll go into everything. Bucks lost Tom Brady. I know that their team isn't that bad. When you have Kyle Trask or Baker Mayfield starting, there's no way that they win more than 4 games. I just can't see it in my head. Maybe they do. Maybe they shock me. I don't see it. The Titans, they do not look that good. They didn't do that good in the draft. They're looking interesting. Ryan Tannehill, everyone, the Titans don't really want Ryan Tannehill. The team's just a mess right now. They are starting to fall. And then the Commanders, pretty much as simple as this. Their team's not terrible, but their head coach sucks, and they have a really tough division. And that's the end of my tier list of giving every single NFL team their records heading into the next season. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe if you like the content and like the video if you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!